Hello, this is Bino. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an arborist and a tree climber specialist, and what I like to do on my channel is share tree climbing tips with beginners and experts. What I have planned for today is to work on MRS self-tending systems, and the three that I want to work on is a floating PRUSIK system, a self-tending closed hitch system, and the last will be a hitch climber pulley self-tending system. Alright, let's get to it. The first one I want to work on is a floating PRUSIK. Now, to do the floating PRUSIK, you got to have like either a carabiner or a ring that you pass your termination end through. So what you'll do is you put your termination end through here, and this will be the one where you connect your friction hitch. So I'll get my friction hitch ready. I'm using a Mitchell-Con. It's my favorite. Not showing like detail how to tie it, but we do have videos on it that you could see. I got that set up. Grab my pulley here. Now on this one I'm going to use the center becket because it's just going to be like a pulley. I'm not going to connect, well I will, I'll connect something to here, but I'll show you in a second. So now this is going to connect to my climbing system. Usually that's on a different carabiner, it's the termination end. And what I'll do now is I'll get a separate French PRUSIK cord, and it could be anything. It could be an accessory cord, because all it's going to do is tend the line. So then I'll do another Mitchell-Con right here, and so all this is going to do will be to tend the pulley there. I think I set it up, yeah. And I'll just use it on this side here. So I'll get my second pulley, carabiner, connected to this. Let's see. Connect it on. Get it set up. Okay, so now get my carabiner and connect to the top becket of the hitch climber pulley. Okay, so now what you'll end up doing is you'll get the distance that you want for a pull, and you pull this bottom line. Okay, and that'll be your self-tending. And because you have this friction hitch here, you can adjust what height you want your pull to be. So now that I have it all put together, I'm gonna ascend the tree, and you can see how it works. So every time you're gonna pull back, it will tend your knot upward. So there's no need to tend your line. So here we go. One. It's a little bit nicer than having to stop and tend your line as you're going up. So once you get to the spot where you want to climb, you can move over. So now once you get to the spot where you want to be at, let me lanyard in so I don't slip. I don't think you really have to lanyard, but just in case. Now what you can do is you tend your PRUSIK line, the opposite cord, and you bring it close to your body. And what that does is now, instead of the line being far away from you, it's close. So when you want to do your walk, let me see. Okay, let me get ready. Unhook. Go back on my line. So now when I'm ready to walk, I just grab my climbing hitch, and I go down, go to my branch, and then you can tend your line in this way, or you can pull it as you go in downward. And then if you're ready to do another ascent, let me see. All you have to do is just readjust it. Let's see. With this PRUSIK, you have it go high to where you want to do your pull, and now you're ready to start ascending. The only downside about this is if you have to go up and connect and disconnect, it's a little bit of a pain because you have to undo the cord and keep on doing it back and forth. So I'll get it prepared and I'll head back down. Okay, so now that it's closer to me, I'll descend. Okay. There we go. And you know, same way as always, you just put your hand on your friction hitch and pull down. The next system I wanted to show you was a self-tending closed hitch system, and this one's really simple. I left my climbing hitch and everything connected. All you really need for this is you get another carabiner, and on your termination end you can use termination knots if you want, but this is a nice splice tie, so I'll use this. You put it to your center ring, or your center, you can either put it to a ring or your center post. I like the center post. And in this, all you really need to do is put a midline clove inside your line. So I'll put a midline clove, and your goal is to think about how much pull you want when you lean back. So I'm going to start here, and I know it's going to stretch some, so I'll connect it. Tighten up my midline clove, and now once I get it tight, this length right here is perfect for me. So all I'll need to do is to ascend up. Alright, so now that I have it on, I'll ascend up the tree. Here we go. It's pretty nice. This, you know, same kind of situation. You don't have to worry about your tending your line. Every time you pull up, it goes up with you.
Practicing your climbing skills, right?
Cool. Now once you get to the top, I'll swing over here. Alright. So on this system, the downside is, you know, this is in line, so you should disconnect. Unless you really like to work with your line above your head. But see, for me, I'm not too fond of this long distance. So there you go. Now, so what I always do though, if I'm going to use this system, I'll get up to where I want to go, and then I'll readjust. What's good is it's a simple adjustment. All you do is some slack in your line. You kick out your clove hitch. Let me get it loose. Oh, it drops right out. And so I like to climb with my termination. I mean my hitch on my outside post, and then on my other post I like to put my termination in. So for me, this is a much more easier situation where I don't have my climbing hitch so far away, and so in this way I'll just go descend back to the ground. That's a pretty simple system. The next system that I'm going to use is a self-tending hitch climber pulley system. It's really simple. So normally with a hitch climber pulley, you can always, you know, if you have a connection, and you use the other termination end on it. I'm going to move it to the bottom becket for this situation. I like to use it that way. So alright, and then what I'll do is, instead of connecting it to the top becket, because what happens is it gets really close to this friction hitch, it's better if you connect it to the center becket on this hitch climber pulley, because it gives it a little bit more space. Another point is, if you don't have a spliced eye on this, if it was a regular termination and you're using the termination knot and you connect it here, what can happen is, just say this is your termination end and you connect here, so this termination knot, whether it be an anchor, bunt line, or double fisherman's bend, once you put your weight, sometimes they get close and they can pull on your climbing hitch. So that's really not the best situation. It's better to use, say, like a termination end. So anyways, now that I have this set up, let me take this one off. Now this little piece that I put on right now is actually going to be my bridge, because on my saddle I only have this small bridge and it's not really one you can modify. So, but with this system you need to have a longer bridge. So a simple thing that I did, got a hunk of rope and then 2 double fisherman's hit knots and a couple carabiners. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the carabiner where my post is for the regular bridge is, and on the other side I'll use the other post for the bridge. Now what I've done is I made a larger bridge, which is required for this, because it really won't work, it'll be too close to you. So all you really need to do is connect the carabiner to your bridge. If you're someone who likes rings, you could always put a ring on this, and then just in the same situation that this is, and connect it to here. So, but now my bridge is longer, and it'll give me the pull that I need, so when I ascend it'll tend itself. Alright, so here we go. I'll start ascending with this hitch climber system. Oops. Well, the pull doesn't really feel as long of a pull as I guess some of the other ones, but I guess that could depend on the length of your bridge. Sounds like my pulley's sticking a little. There you go. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to go over that side. Alright, there we go. So, same thing, simple. This is just like the regular setup. The only difference is it's a long bridge. So, now, oops. If you're a guy who likes working with a long bridge, then this is probably something that would work well for you. But me, I really enjoy having a smaller bridge. So when I would get to the top, I think what I would do is just readjust it. Since I already have a bridge that's smaller, I would probably just put this one away and go to my small bridge. And actually I like the post in the center because it's so close to me. Oops. There, and you don't have to switch this at all. You could work the tree that way. What's really good about this is that if you need to go around branches, it's a simple, connect and disconnect. All right, go back down. And there you go. So those were three different options for MRS self-tending systems. So the first one we did was a floating PRUSIK, and that was really nice because you can adjust and closer to you or further away. The only downside for me is that sometimes if you're gonna advance in the tree, you have to untie your PRUSIK and retie it. That could be, you know, tiresome. But if you had a throw in all the way to your final tie-in and you're going to work the tree that way, that'd be a nice system. The second one, the self-tending MRS system, or self-tending closed hitch system, that's really nice. And for me, I would only use it myself to get up to a high point, and I'd get rid of the clove hitch, the midline clove, and then work at my normal system. And the third one, the hitch climber, self-tending hitch climber system, you know, that's always been built that way. If you have a longer bridge, it's something that you can use. People who use a close bridge to yourself, then it's really hard to do. I like all those options. I mean, having more options is always better. Remember that if you're gonna do something new in tree work, do it low and slow. You don't want to get hurt. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like always, comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you like what we do. And by all means, share our videos with your friends. Take care. We'll see you next time.